Hi, welcome back to Magnesia with me, Miss Widari. Well, how are you doing today, guys? Are you in a good condition? Hopefully, all of you are in a good condition today. So, as usual, before we talk about our topic today, let's first review about our previous topic. So, yesterday we have talked about how to speak like a native. Let's say it with me. How to speak like a native. Oke, so gimana sih caranya untuk mengucapkan bahasa Inggris seperti penutur aslinya? Well, there are some hack that we could use. So, native speaker atau penutur asli bahasa Inggris biasanya dia bakal menyingkat kata-kata agar dapat berbicara faster, lebih cepat. So, the first word that we have here is going to. Let's say it first. Going to. Going to berarti akan. Kata going to ini bisa diikuti oleh verb ataupun noun. So, going to itu bisa disingkat kalau dia diikuti verb. Dia tidak akan bisa disingkat kalau dia noun. For example, going to. I'm going to go to New York. Let's say it. I'm going to go to New York. Aku akan pergi ke New York. So that sentence is really long. Jadi kalimat itu panjang banget diucapkannya. I'm going to go to New York. Well, we can shorten it. Kita bisa singkat itu menjadi gonna. I'm gonna go to New York. Let's say it with me. I'm gonna go to New York. Aku akan pergi ke New York. The next one we have what do you? What do you? What do you bisa disingkat menjadi what daya. What daya. Let's say it. What daya. For example, what do you do? What do you do? Apa yang kamu lakukan? Bisa disingkat menjadi what do you do? Sorry, what do you do? What do you do? Let's say it with me. What do you do? Apa yang kamu lakukan? Next, we have did you. Did you bisa disingkat menjadi did ya ataupun did you. For example, what did you do? What did you do? Bisa disingkat menjadi what did you do? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? Apa yang kamu lakukan tadi? Next, we have want to. Want to berarti ingin. We can shorten it into wanna. I want to go to New York. I want to go to New York. Aku ingin pergi ke New York. Bisa disingkat menjadi I wanna go to New York. I wanna go to New York. Next one, we have I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't know bisa disingkat menjadi I do know. I do know. Let's say it with me. I do know. Next, we have to and has to. Well, kedua kata ini berarti harus dalam bahasa Indonesia. Have to digunakan oleh subjek I, you, they, we, sedangkan has to digunakan oleh subjek tunggal ataupun she, he, it. Have to akan disingkat menjadi have-ta, has to disingkat menjadi has-ta. For example, I have to work now. I have to work now. Aku harus kerja sekarang. I have to work now. I have to work now. And next one we have has to. She has to go. She has to go. Let's say it. She has to go. Bisa disingkat menjadi she has to go. She has to go. She has to go. Dia harus pergi. Next one kita punya have atau has got to. Have or has got to. Jadi kata ini bisa disingkat menjadi gotta. Gotta. Let's say it. Gotta. Okay. Has got to atau have got to memiliki arti yang sama dengan have to ataupun has to. For example, I have got to go. I have got to go. Aku harus pergi. Bisa disingkat menjadi I gotta go. I gotta go. Let's say it. I gotta go. Next one we have should have. Should have bisa disingkat menjadi shoulda. I should have listened to you. Akan disingkat menjadi I should have listened to you. I should have listened to you. Seharusnya aku dengerin kamu. Next we have could have. Could have. Mungkin bisa. For example, you could have gotten that. You could have gotten that. Bisa disingkat menjadi coulda. You could have gotten that. You could have gotten that. Kamu kemungkinan bisa mendapatkan itu. Next, kita punya would have yang akan disingkat menjadi woulda, woulda, might have disingkat menjadi mighta, mighta, dan juga must have disingkat menjadi musta, musta. So, ketika modal verb should, could, would, might, dan juga must ketemu dengan kata have, dia bisa disingkat dengan menambahkan di belakangnya. Should have, shoulda, could have, coulda, would have, woulda, might have, mighta, must have, musta. So that is how you speak like a native. Jadi itu beberapa cara agar kalian terdengar seperti native speaker ketika bicara. So that is about our review yesterday. If you forgot, you can just re-click the link. Kalau kalian lupa, kalian bisa tinggal klik aja link sebelumnya. And now let's move to our topic today. Dan sekarang mari kita masuk ke topik kita hari ini. Today we're not gonna talk about how to speak like a native anymore, but we're gonna talk about opinion. Oke, mungkin dari kalian udah ada ya yang pernah dengar tentang opinion. Opinion in Indonesian, it means opini atau pendapat. Opinion. In Indonesian, it means pendapat. So today we're gonna learn about how to give and express our opinion, how to ask for an opinion, and how do we respond to the opinion given. So let's talk about how to ask for the opinion first. Sekarang mari kita lihat gimana caranya menanyakan opini ke orang lain. So you can pay attention to your screen. Kalian bisa perhatikan screen kalian. So the first one, kita punya yang formal and then informal. Okay, let's talk about the formal one first. Kita mulai dengan yang formal dulu. So yang pertama kalian bisa bilang, have you got any comments on? Let's say it with me. Have you got any comments on? Apakah kamu ada komentar tentang bla bla bla. Jadi titik-titiknya diisi dengan apa yang mau dikomentari atau opini dari tentang apa yang ingin diinginkan. For example, have you got any comments on my clothes today? Have you got any comments on my clothes today? Apakah kamu ada komentar mengenai pakaianku hari ini? Jadi apa yang ingin dikomentari diisi di titik-titiknya. Next, we have, do you have any idea? Do you have any idea? Let's say it with me. Do you have any idea? Apakah kamu punya ide? Next one kita punya, do you have any opinion on? Do you have any opinion on? Let's say it. Do you have any opinion on? Apakah kamu ada opini tentang bla bla bla? Next one kita punya, would you give me your opinion on? Would you give me your opinion on? Apakah kamu mau memberikan opinimu tentang bla bla bla? Let's say it together. Would you give me your opinion on? Next, yang I. Selanjutnya kita punya, what is your opinion about? What is your opinion about? Let's say it. What is your opinion about? Apa pendapatmu tentang titik-titik? Next, kita punya, what are your feeling? What are you feeling about? What are you feeling about? Let's say it. What are you feeling about? Bagaimana perasaanmu tentang titik-titik? Next, we have, what are your views on? What are your views on? Let's say it. What are your views on? Apa pendapatmu tentang titik-titik? Jadi selain bilang opinion, kalian juga bisa menggunakan kata view. Next, we have, please give me your frank opinion. Please give me your frank opinion. Tolong berikan aku pendapatmu yang frank, yang tidak dibuat-buat, frank. Next, we have informally. Jadi tadi sudah menanyakan pendapat secara formal, selanjutnya secara tidak formal. Well, you can say, what do you think of? Blah, blah, blah. What do you think of? Blah, blah, blah. Let's say it. What do you think of? Blah, blah, blah. Next, we have, what do you think about? What do you think about? Let's say it. What do you think about? Apa pendapatmu tentang titik-titik? Next, kita punya what is your opinion? What is your opinion? Let's say it. What is your opinion? Next, we have why do they behave like that? Why do they behave like that? Let's say it with me. Why do they behave like that? Kenapa mereka bertingkah seperti itu? Next, kita punya do you think it's going? Do you think it's going? Let's say it together. Do you think it's going? Menurutmu itu berjalan? Do you think it's going? Next, kita punya how was the trip? How was the trip? Let's say it together. How was the trip? Gimana tripnya? Jadi yang ini dia sudah menanyakan spesifik opini tentang apa. So, tentang the trip. Next, kita punya how do you think of Rina's idea? How do you think of Rina's idea? Let's say it. How do you think of Rina's idea? Gimana menurutmu tentang pendapatnya Rina? Next, you can also say, how do you feel about this decision? How do you feel about this decision? Let's say it. How do you feel about this decision? Gimana pendapatmu tentang decision ini? Decision itu berarti keputusan. Jadi, apa pendapatmu tentang keputusan ini? How do you feel about this decision? Well, there is some ways that you can use to ask for others' opinion. Jadi itu beberapa cara yang bisa kalian gunakan untuk menanyakan pendapat orang lain, secara formal ataupun informal. Now, what if you get asked by someone? Gimana kalau kalian yang ditanya pendapatnya sama orang lain? Gimana sih meresponnya dalam bahasa Inggris? Well, you can say, okay, kalian bisa perhatikan di screen kalian. Now we're gonna see how to give opinion. Gimana caranya memberi opini. The first one, kita punya secara formal dan juga informal. Let's talk about the formal one first. Okay, secara formal, kalian bisa bilang, I personally believe. I personally believe. Let's say it with me. I personally believe. Aku secara pribadi percaya bla bla bla. Oke, setelah bilang I personally believe, kalian bisa cantumkan pendapat kalian setelahnya. Next, kalian bisa bilang I personally consider. I personally consider. Let's say it with me. I personally consider. Oke, aku secara pribadi berpendapat titik-titik. Next, you can also say, I personally think or feel. I personally think blah blah blah. Or, I personally feel blah blah blah. Next, you can say, I hold the opinion. I hold the opinion. Let's say it. I hold the opinion. Aku memiliki pendapat blah blah blah. Next one, you can also say, my own view of the matter is. My own view of the matter is. Let's say it with me. My own view of the matter is blah blah blah. Pendapatku tentang masalah ini adalah blah blah blah. Next, you can say, well, personally, blah blah blah. Well, personally, blah blah blah. Jadi kalian tidak menyebutkan subjeknya dan langsung menyebut kata personally. Kemudian pendapat kalian. And next, secara formal kalian bisa bilang, if I had my view, I would blah blah blah. If I had my view, I would blah blah blah. Let's say it with me. If I had my view, I would. Okay, that is how you give your opinion formally. Now let's take a look how to give your opinion informally. Okay, jadi yang sekarang secara informal. The first kalian bisa bilang, I think I like it. I think I like it. Well, kalian bisa bilang ini kalau kalian setuju atau suka sama pendapat yang disebutkan. I think I like it. Next, you can also say, I don't think I care for it. I don't think I care for it. Let's say it. I don't think I care for it. Aku rasa aku tidak terlalu peduli. I don't think I care for it. Next one, kita bisa bilang, I think it's good. I think it's good. Or kata good bisa diganti dengan kata nice ataupun terrific. I think it's nice. I think it's nice. I think it's terrific. I think it's terrific. Next, you can also say, I think that awful. I think that awful. Awful berarti buruk atau the opposite of good. I think that awful. Menurutku itu buruk. Kata awful juga bisa kalian ganti dengan kata not nice ataupun terrible. Let's say it. I think that not nice. I think that not nice. Or, I think that's terrible. I think that's terrible. Next, you can also say, I don't think much of it. I don't think much of it. Let's say it. I don't think much of it. Aku nggak terlalu memikirkan itu. And next, yang paling simple, kalian bisa bilang, I think that blah blah blah. I think that blah blah blah. Oke, jadi titik-titiknya diisi dengan opini kalian. I think that. Okay, so that is how you give your opinion. And then what if you don't agree with someone's opinion? Or the opposite, you agree with the other's opinion. How about you just agree halfway? Oke, jadi gimana sih caranya merespon ke opini yang sudah dikasih? Well, ada 3 kemungkinan. You can agree, kalian bisa setuju, ataupun disagree, tidak setuju, dan juga yang terakhir, partly agree. Agree tapi sebagian aja agree-nya, nggak totally agree. So let's take a look on how to express that you agree with someone's opinion. Well, yang pertama, kalian bisa bilang, there is no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. Let's say it. There is no doubt about it. Well, nggak ada yang keraguan tentang hal itu. There is no doubt about it. Next, you can say, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. Aku sepenuhnya setuju sama kamu. I completely agree with you. Well, kata completely bisa diganti dengan absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Aku sepenuhnya setuju sama kamu. Next, you can say, I agree with you entirely. I agree with you entirely. Let's say it. I agree with you entirely. Aku setuju sama kamu sepenuhnya. Next, you can say, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Let's say it together. I totally agree with you. Aku sepenuhnya setuju sama kamu. Next, you can say, I simply must agree with that. I simply must agree with that. Let's say it with me. I simply must agree with that. Next, you can say, that's exactly what I think. That's exactly what I think. Let's say it together. That's exactly what I think. Itu benar-benar tepat sekali seperti pemikiranku. Jadi kalian setuju. Next, what if you don't agree? Selanjutnya, gimana kalau kalian tidak setuju? Well, if you disagree, you can say, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. Let's say it together. I don't agree with you. Aku tidak setuju dengan kamu. Next, you can say, I'm sorry, but I disagree. I'm sorry, but I disagree. Let's say it together. I'm sorry, but I disagree. Maaf, tapi aku tidak setuju. Next, you can also say, I'm afraid I can't agree with you. I'm afraid I can't agree with you. Aku khawatir aku nggak bisa setuju sama kamu. Next, you can say, the problem is that blah blah blah. The problem is that blah blah blah. Oke, jadi setelah bilang the problem is that, kalian kasih alasan kalian kenapa tidak setujunya. The problem is that blah blah blah. Next, you can say, I very much doubt whether. I very much doubt whether. Aku benar-benar ragu kalau titik-titik. I very much doubt whether blah blah blah. Or you can just omit, kalian bisa hilangkan juga kata very much-nya menjadi I doubt whether blah blah blah. I doubt whether blah blah blah. Next, you can say with all due respect. With all due respect. Let's say it. With all due respect. Dengan penuh hormat. Kemudian sampaikan ketidaksetujuan kalian. Next, you can say, I cannot share this. I cannot share this. Let's say it together. I cannot share this. Kata this bisa diganti dengan kata lain seperti that atau the view. For example, I cannot share that. I cannot share that. I cannot share the view. I cannot share the view. Let's say it with me. I cannot share the view. Next, you can say, I cannot agree with this idea. I cannot agree with this idea. Let's say it. I cannot agree with this idea. Aku tidak bisa setuju dengan pendapat atau ide ini. Next, you can also say, what I object to is, what I object to is, let's say it, what I object to is, blah blah blah. And the last, kalian bisa bilang, I have my own thought about it. I have my own thought about it. Aku memiliki pemikiranku sendiri tentang itu. Let's say it together. I have my own thought about it. Next, gimana kalau kalian partly agree? Setuju tapi hanya sebagian aja. Well, you can say, kalian bisa bilang, that's true, but, that's true, but. Oke, kalian bisa setujui dulu dengan bilang, that's true, itu benar, but, tapi, bla bla bla. Kemudian sampaikan ketidaksetujuan kalian. That's true, but. Next, you can say, I can't agree with that, only with reservations. Let's say it. I can't agree with that, only with reservation. Let's say it with me. I can agree with that, only with reservation. Aku bisa setuju dengan itu, hanya ada beberapa pengecualian. Next, you can say, that seems obvious, but. That seems obvious, but. Itu kelihatannya jelas, tapi bla bla bla. Next, you can say, that is not necessary, so. That is not necessary, so. Let's say it with me. That's not necessary, so. Next, you can say, it is not as simple as it seems. It is not as simple as it seems. Say it with me. It is not as simple as it seems. Okay, selanjutnya you can say, I agree with you in part, but. I agree with you in part, but. One more time. I agree with you in part, but. Aku setuju sama kamu sebagian, tapi bla bla bla. And the last you can say, well, you could be right. Well, you could be right. Well, kamu mungkin aja benar. So that is how you express the partly agree. Jadi itu gimana caranya mengekspresikan kalau kalian hanya setuju sebagian aja. Well, that is how you express opinion. Jadi itu gimana caranya mengekspresikan opinion. We have talked about how to ask for opinion, gimana caranya meminta pendapat. You can say, what do you think? What is your view about? Next, how to give opinion. Selanjutnya kita juga sudah membicarakan tentang cara memberikan pendapat. Well, secara formal kalian bisa bilang, I personally believe that. Or, kalau secara informal, kalian bisa bilang, I think bla bla bla. Next, gimana sih meresponnya? Well, ada 3 pilihan. You can agree, disagree, and partly agree. Kalau kalian setuju, you can just say, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Aku sepenuhnya setuju sama kamu. Kalau kalian tidak setuju, you can say, I disagree with you. I disagree with you. Let's say it. I disagree with you. But if you partly agree, kalau kalian hanya setuju sebagian aja, you can say, that's true, but, that's true, but, well, that is how you talk about opinion. Jadi itu caranya mengekspresikan pendapat in English. If you guys have any question, kalau kalian ada pertanyaan, don't forget to take a note. Pastikan kalian udah catat, and then you can ask it when you have offline class later. Dan bisa kalian tanyakan langsung ketika kalian punya kelas offline nanti. Well, that is all from me for today. Thank you so much for joining this live streaming. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Bye!